Hello Helen, Christy, Owen and all the Marine Bar family. You're all getting great mileage out of the Fireside sessions and I'd like to make a small little contribution now. This piece was written by one folk singing legend about another. When Luke Kelly of the Dubliners passed away, his good friend Liam Clancy, was out of the country touring. And when Liam came back a year or two later, he went to visit the grave of his old friend, and this piece, no doubt, probably sums up what swirled around in his brain as he stood over Kelly's grave. It's called Luke. Luke, how glad I am that our paths crossed in that brief window of consciousness that's given to us between the two great mysteries. You came into my life through a window, the men's room window of the Central Hotel at the Fla in Milltown, Malbay. They wouldn't let you in through the front door. They said it was after hours and you weren't a resident. But it was really because they didn't want a Dublin Jackeen upsetting the session. Willie Clancy was there in the parlour, and Jimmy Ward and the great Seamus Ennis, who shares this piece of ground with you now, forever. You startled us that night, Lukey, when you sang. You were no self-effacing country boy waiting to be coaxed to sing soft, sad love songs. You were as strident as a street in Cricketwood, as brash as a Dublin hackney driver, and you took delight in what you sang. Joy and anger mixed in a powerful blend. That was your hallmark then, as always. Joy in the art of singing, anger in the words that spoke of injustice. You came from the mould of the great communists who knew that it was right to rail against the tyranny of class and privilege. Look at us now, Luke, here in this cemetery, a small huddle of the living amidst the vast throng of the generations that have marched through before us, and coming fast behind, the generations waiting to be born. So, what signifies, Luke? What signifies is that you have fulfilled your destiny, that you did not stint in the giving of the talent that was uniquely yours. Had you been a blade of grass, you would have been very tall and very green and very pointed, because all things must be what they are to their fullness. Since we laid you down here, how many years ago, you have been joined in the long silence by so many of those we knew, by Kieran Burke and Seamus Ennis, by Willie Clancy and Joe Heaney, and by my own brothers, Tom, Paddy, Bobby. But are you really silenced, Luke? No, and never will be. It's all preserved, isn't it, in reality as well as in memory. And when in the future there are those who want to hear not the froth of fashion in the pop song of the month, but the timeless vision of the true story told, they will listen to you, Luke. To you and your likes, if such there are. And even though we understand all this with our heads, we still lament in our hearts that you will, as the song says, no, nay, never. Never no more will you play the wild roar. Never, no more. Sinead.